Cimoooooooo!
What's going on, guys? It's Cimo, and welcome to another episode of Throwback Thursday, a weekly series where we look at some broke-ass cards from the anime and apply them to the current meta. This week's card is one of my favorites, the Pillager, and if you've never heard of what this card does, it just totally embodies the character that played it, Bandit Keith, so I'll just go ahead and let him explain it.
It's all over for you, thanks to this, the Pillager. The what? The Pillager lets me look at your dueling hand and steal one card from it.
Now, I just want to go on record by saying that there are some cards that are similar to this. If you look at a card like Confiscation, we have a card that you can pay 1,000 life points to take a card out of your opponent's hand and send it to the graveyard. Or the Forceful Sentry, where you actually shuffle a card back into your opponent's deck. But both of those cards are banned, and also a card like Mind Crush kind of allows you to do something similar to this as well, I guess more along the lines of Confiscation rather than the Pillager, but being able to just look at your opponent's hand first off is just like nuts, because having that amount of info can just totally help you predict plays and really just help you outpace your opponent. But then, being able to take a card that they have, not send it to the graveyard, not shuffle it back to the deck, but add it to your hand is just the dumbest thing I have ever heard. Like, just take the simplest example possible. Both players have 5 cards in hand, okay? One of them is the Pillager, and say you're going first. You use the Pillager, so now you're down to 4 cards. You take one of your opponent's cards and add it to your hand, making it so that you just got a free card from their hand, added it to yours, and now when they draw, they're going to be up to what you have. So essentially going second in that extra draw with the Pillager is almost completely useless. And just think of all of the different cards that you could potentially steal that your opponent might have in their hand. You could take, realistically, a Regeki, a Dark Hole, a Solemn Warning, a Bottomless. You could take anything, like literally any card that is like good and basically staple in this format is pretty likely that your opponent might have it in their hand. So being able to just use the Pillager, take that, and be able to use it for your, like, imagine being able to steal a BLS with this. Like, how is that fair in the least? It's just like, it makes it so unfair, because if they do steal a limited card from you, it's like not only did you lose your one copy of it, but they, if depending on what deck they're running, they might now have 2. So going back to BLS, if they steal a BLS, they might have 2 BLS that you have to deal with now. Like, imagine just getting double BLS dropped on you in a game because they stole yours. Like, that must be the worst feeling imaginable. Fuck me. Could you imagine how mirror matches would play out if this card existed? Like, imagine a Necros, if there was a Necros mirror match, like, people are just stealing Manjus and Senjus left and right. In the Shadal mirror match, like, there's El Shadal Fusion, there's Shadal Fusion, there's all these really good cards. Mind Control, that's another one. Burning Abyss, you could just take your opponent's only Burning Abyss monster, or like one of their power traps, since they run like 20 anyway. Just take like their Traveler or their Fire Lake just because you can. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about the Pillager. Like, I'm sorry, this card is just fucking awesome. I played back in the day when Confiscation and Forceful Sentry were legal, and those cards were already powerful enough, but this takes it to a whole nother level. Thank you all so much for watching the video. We'll see you next week.
Cimoooooooo!